if you haven't gotten the vibe already, this is a more relaxed meeting, so enjoy. Feel free to go get more food if there is any more food. These are vultures. All right, so it's very relaxed today. We're going to have a speaker who's going to come, who's already here. He's going to talk to you guys about what ASD is, what you guys can do with it, how you can take advantage of it, how you can put it on your application for those of you who are asking it. Yeah, just everything ASDA. This is National Pre-Dental Week. They are having a competition where the pre-dental club that wins the most or signs up the most ASDA members gets a ton of prizes, including national recognition. So it would be completely awesome if we won, as you can imagine. Do you guys have announcements?
Oh, I'm sending sign-ups for Ayuda and Kicks for Kids tomorrow.
Cool. So remember that you need scrubs that need to be purchased and your HIPAA certification in order to attend Ayuda. You can attend as many Kicks for Kids as you want, but know that you'll only get one wildcard point for attending once or every other time. So you can only get one wildcard point for that.
Okay, so yeah, Kicks for Kids starts this Sunday. It starts at, get there at 10, it's going to start at 10:30. It's a lot of fun. You get to go play soccer with some disabled kids from the area, and they're really sweet, and you can get a buddy. And that goes until 12. And then on next Friday, the 28th, that's next Friday, we have our fundraiser, and that's going to be for Operation Smile, so that's for kids with cleft palate and cleft lip. And yeah, so we're going to be creating a Facebook event for that. That's a really awesome flyer that Amber and Grant made.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really cool party. It's going to be at the SIO house on Severance,
So
like right behind
right
Sigma Chi. Right, wherever. There he is. So it's going to be a really cool party. We're going to have a lot of music and a lot of stuff to drink. And we're inviting all the dental students and everybody, so it's going to be a big party. And UCLA Pre-Dental Organization, and it's only $5 to get in. And I know it kind of sucks you have to pay, but it's for donation, and you're donating your money towards Operation Smile.
And you may or you may not get to pie me in the face for an extra $5.
I can't believe it. I forgot about that. We're making it for an extra $5. Michelle and I are getting pie stuff, and we're gonna pie him in the face.
Which consists of pie.
All of you want to come.
It's right. It's gonna happen. I'm not joking. We don't dress up as geishas and all that stuff. But this will happen. This will happen, and I will make sure it will. Okay?
So apparently this is happening.
Who doesn't want to pie him in the face?
No, I'm actually down for this one. So, I mean, it's for a good cause, so David can pie me in the face. Yeah, honestly, bring all your friends. You will want to come more if your friends are there. So if your fraternity brothers, sorority sisters, friends from different clubs, like you guys are a very well-rounded, diverse group. So bring all your friends from home.
Invite them on Facebook. Feel free.
Yeah, we're gonna send out the Facebook blasts later on today or tomorrow, sometime soon, and you guys will get to invite people yourselves. So yeah. Do you have any announcements?
Yeah, and then I know you guys are like taking midterms and stuff right now, so just keep in mind that to get Cardinal membership, you have to submit 2 tests to the test bank, and for gold, you need 3. So I would start saving your tests now and try to add like ones that aren't already in the test bank so that we can build it for future years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And just remember that wildcard points, which we've been giving out like candy, count for anything. So yeah, it counts for test submissions. So if you're lacking that, but you have everything else, then you will be able to get your membership status. Other announcements, UOP invited us for a Pacific Pride Day. So, you know, they were kind of, Stan, who was here last time, really liked our group. He invited us to a one-weekend kind of tour of their brand new facilities, which you heard himself say that they're not even going into until the summer. So we'll be in there before the dental students are even in there. So April 5th, I believe, is the day, and I kind of want to plan it so that we're going to go visit UCSF as well. I mean, we're already in San Francisco, so we might as well visit there too. So yeah, keep on the lookout for that. I think you guys will have to register yourselves, and that's registration opens sometime in early March. But you guys will hear about that from us, so don't worry. What else? Oh, UCSF wants to partnership with us. Essentially, they want to start a mentorship with our pre-dental students. So essentially, it's one dental student from UCSF gets one pre-dental student in DDS, and they kind of help you through everything, through the application process, through your classes, chem, bio, etc. If you're struggling here, they can take a night out to help you out if they have time. Tutoring, DAT stuff, just everything. So if that's something that you're interested in, we're going to have a sign up for that also. And yeah, any more announcements that you guys can think of? All right, do you guys want to do member of the month? Okay, cool. So we have 2 members of the month for January. Both of them are new members, so it's really exciting to me that we're getting a lot of new members as members of the month. Well, new members from the fall, but nonetheless, they're excellent members. They come to a lot of events, participate a lot, and it's just really excellent to see such outstanding members, especially since they're new. So the first one goes to Rahul Gupta. And then the second one goes to Sarah Forgy. Sarah, yeah! And you get to say after.
Right.
You get to, yeah, I didn't know how to pronounce your name. Stay after for a picture too. Okay. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our speaker for today. He actually got us involved with ASDA first. He invited us to the District 11 conference back in October, September-ish time. He's an excellent dental student. Met him, I think, 2 years ago, so he's an excellent person in general. Please welcome Ed Davis.
Hey everyone, first I'd like to thank Michael and the rest of the e-board for having me here. Once again, my name is Ed Davis and I'm the president of ASDA here at the dental school. And first I just want to ask a question. How many of you have heard about ASDA before we start talking about the pre-dental week? Okay. And how many of you attended the district meeting that was in October?
Just a few of us.
Okay, all right. Well, and was that a good experience for those of you who?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to know if you guys learned anything because there was a lot of information and kind of came all at once. But anytime ASDA is involved with pre-dental organization, it's always a great thing. But anyways, so I just wanted to kind of give you guys an overview of what ASDA is and how it can help you. Before I came to dental school, I didn't know anything about ASDA. I wasn't fortunate enough as you guys to kind of have someone to kind of introduce it to you and just even hear about it. So I knew what the ADA was, but a student arm of the ADA was something that was completely new to me. But when it was initially introduced to me during freshman orientation week, and I heard that this was a professional organization, an organized dentistry that the ADA kind of supports, and it's completely student run, I thought that was something that I definitely wanted to get involved with. So, and for you guys to want to even think about getting involved with it even before you get into dental school can only benefit you even more. So once again, so ASDA is a completely student-run organization. Every dental school in the country has a chapter. Depending on the size of the schools, the members can vary. Some schools are auto-enroll, meaning that the fees are taken out of your tuition. And some you have to apply every year, you have to renew. USC is an auto-enroll, so it kind of comes out of your tuition, the fees every year, so it's kind of something that you don't even notice. But that also it's a good thing and a bad thing, because at USC you can with ASDA you can kind of let it roll over you and kind of not really take advantage of it because you don't really know that you're paying for it. But like I said, that's one of the things when I heard about it, I kind of wanted to get involved in it. So for you as a pre-dental student, what ASDA can do for you is there's a bunch of things on the website that you can see that are benefits, as far as you can get discounted Kaplan classes. You can get to prep the DAT, just a bunch of DAT prep stuff. But what I think is more than all that stuff is you can kind of have access to the conferences that ASDA holds, which we have 4 conferences every year. The district conference, which was in October, the national conference, which is this month, and then there's another conference that's in March, and then I guess it's just 3. But you'll be able to kind of see, it kind of doesn't become real to you until you see a room full of dental students or pre-dental students that have the same mindset that you do and that they're working toward the same goals that you're working towards. It's really an amazing feeling. We call it catching ASDA fever for the first timers who go to these conferences, and just the kind of excitement that you get. But what it could do for you as a pre-dental student, though, is it could also, you could put it on your application for dental school. It will really be good for you to kind of take advantage and to listen to some of the topics that come up, because talking through it at a dental school interview, a lot of schools, for example, Western. I was talking to one of the ASDA members over at Western at one of the last conferences, and they have dental students who sit on the admissions committee, and they actually do the interviews. So how great would it be for you to say, you know, I went to this ASDA conference, and you know, you can have a really one-on-one conversation with someone else and have a really good reflection of you on that person, because they know exactly what you're thinking, they know exactly, you know, where your mindset is at, and they know that something that is as important to them as far as being ASDA is also important to you. So that's something that could only benefit you in the long run. Also another thing that ASDA has is one thing that the school is, we're having our, it's called the ADPAC, which is the American Dental Association Political Action Committee. And ASDA has a lot of different hands in different pots. One thing that ASDA does is, one part of organized dentistry that ASDA deals with is kind of the political aspect of how things are going on in Washington and how those can relate back to dental students and dentists. And what the Political Action Committee does is it's basically like a big fundraising committee that goes toward putting money into political candidates that have dentistry's best interests in mind, that has different dental students' best interests in mind, and different committees that have dentistry's best interests in mind. So it basically puts money into those things so that we can get the people that we need in Washington making the decisions for us. So that's what the Political Action Committee does for the ADA. And this Friday, actually, we're having a lecturer come to speak with us who is the first vice president of the ADA, and he also sits on the ADPAC board of directors, and he's going to come and speak to us and kind of tell us about some different things. So I'd like to open that up to you guys as well. If you guys are free at noon, I know it's in the middle of the day, but free at noon on Friday, we'd love to have you guys come by. You know, ASDA just has so many opportunities that you can take a part of. And this pre-dental week is something that was just introduced this week. Not this week, this year, at the National Leadership Conference. I was in Washington last year. It was just an idea that was come up with, and you know, because we really want to get the next generation of dental students to get to know as much as they can about ASDA. So if there's any questions, I'll be able to answer any questions that anybody has.
So I know that Ron had a question. He was asking, you know, where on the application on the ADSAS itself do we put that we're an ASDA member? Because I know that you can do that. I just don't know.
I'm trying to remember the ADSAS application. Wherever I'm not sure if there's a space where you can put your affiliations, or is there any place that you can kind of type in different things?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you can just type it in there. Say how long you've been a member. I'm not sure how much you can write, but you know, any experiences that you have with ASDA as a pre-dental member, you know, that you've been through.
So as a pre-dental member of ASDA, would it be mostly attending conferences and just networking with dental students and admissions, or what exactly? I'm a little confused as to what as a pre-dental student you can do to get involved.
So as a pre-dental student, what you could do is, one thing that our chapter is trying to do now is to kind of reach out to the pre-dental society a little bit more. more. Many of you may know that UCLA also has a pre-dental connection, and we're trying to also up ours as well. So one thing that we would like to start doing is maybe actually this summer we've been talking about trying to have more one-on-one contact with dental students, kind of do a shadow day, do mock interviews, stuff like that. And as a member, that will benefit you because that stuff is kind of only open to as the members. So as a pre-dental student, what the main ways you benefit, I'm thinking is kind of getting you into dental school, giving you those practice sessions of, how to act or how to dress and, how your application can benefit, from having that experience as well.
Thank you.
Sure.
What is the virtual visit from ASDA about?
So that's what that's the webinar that Michael was talking about. It's actually going to be like a live stream of, I think it's 4 or 5 panelists, and they're just going to talk about, I'm guessing they're just going to talk about their pre-dental experiences and kind of just what I'm talking about now, as far as how you can benefit from being as the member,
So just like more information.
Basically,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
But you're just getting 5 different perspectives.
They go into other things also, so like what extracurricular activities you could get into as a pre-dent, what undergraduate classes you should be taking, obviously taking advantage of your pre-dental club on campus, which you're all doing, so things like that.
So as a freshman, I'm not really looking to take the DNT for at least another year or two. Are there things other than test prep and things that I would be able to gain as a?
Yeah, there's more than test prep. Like I said, I think that the earliest that you expose yourself to what organized dentistry is, you can kind of have more time to kind of understand it. Because when like I said, I didn't know anything about ASDA before I came to dental school, and even my first year when I was the ASDA rep here at USC, I really didn't understand anything. So it kind of took me a year just to kind of figure out what ASDA was all about, and how I could contribute to it. So as a first year student, I would say that the best thing you could do is to just kind of learn what ASDA is about. Learn about what the different layers of leadership are, and what the issues are, and how you could, if some of those issues impact you in a certain way, how you can, affect those. For example, something that we're going to talk about at this next conference coming up this month is one of the big topics is loan repayment. I think ADEA put out a statement saying that the average dental student pays at least $200,000 in debt, and USC is more than that. But I wish we had 200,000. So 2 years ago we went to Washington and we lobbied for just to let the Congress people know that dental school is expensive, and a lot of them didn't even know. They had no idea that dental school was as expensive as it is. So what I think that would be great for you to do is to, like I said, kind of get to know some of the issues, and get to see if any of them affect you, and see how you can put your input on them, or if you want to change any of them, and
And to add to that, I mean, when you become an ASDA member, you get invited to all the national events and conferences and stuff like that. So I know, speaking personally, when I got invited to the District 11 conference back in October, I got a better sense of what dentistry as a profession is actually like. So, organized dentistry is, this huge networking and a bunch of students meeting up, but they also talk about the future, and, to kind of see that and to understand, kind of get a grasp of what the future of dentistry is actually like and how it will be when I'm a dental student and when I'm a future dentist, that was really helpful for me. So yeah, I kind of got a better understanding, and that would totally be helpful for you.
At the district conference we had leaderships from the CDA come to speak, leadership from the ADA come to speak, and you kind of get a chance to see that as a dentist, there's clinical, but then beyond that, there's actual leadership outside of being a dentist, you know, and how you can affect the way, not just the way dentistry is practiced, but the way dentistry works. So that's kind of just a big part of it.
When you guys went over to Washington, how did the officials respond to you guys saying how expensive dental school is and everything else?
Like I said, a lot of them didn't know. They were kind of blown away that the fact that dental school is as expensive as it is, and that was 2 years ago, and we're still kind of waiting for, you know, something to happen. But I think that the best way to kind of attack that, especially with Washington, is just repetition. And like I said, every year we go up there, and we may not talk about debt every year, but it's always something new or something different that we talk about. Like I said, a lot of people, you know, we tell them that before we come that we're coming, so we don't just show up in their office or anything. But yeah, a lot of them, like I said, didn't know. So just getting the word out is really a big deal, you know, because there are some government officials who are dentists themselves, and since they were in dental school, a lot has changed. So even them, they may not know what it's like now. So, since they kind of know what we are going through now, they kind of have a little more affinity of it. So they're kind of more willing to take us by the hand and say, you know,
Are you guys like lobbying for public schools to be made cheaper, or like loan repayment policies being changed?
So some of the issues are, one of the solutions for debt repayment was having more loan forgiveness programs, and to also kind of work with some private and public organizations to kind of get the word out. But there aren't a lot of solutions out there right now, unfortunately. You had your hand, please.
Do you guys have any more questions? While you're here, I just wanted to kind of go over a few of the, you know, kind of dental-related incentives that they have to sign up for ASDA. So the free copy of the guide to getting into dental school, that's what I have in my hands right here. And I kid you not, I'm going to call this the pre-dental Bible, because this is so helpful. It has exactly what letters of recommendation you need, the GPA of every single school, every single dental school has, you know, what DAT scores they're looking for. Like, let me just show you how detailed they are. Texas A&M University, Baylor College of Dentistry. Okay, so letters of recommendation. They need 3 pre-dental advisors, so 3 from pre-dental advisors, okay? 1 from a practicing dentist and 1 from personal friend. Like, you wouldn't be able to get that information just like right off the bat, you know? I mean, yeah, you could look it up, but like to have it all here in the book with you, this is a $40 value. So essentially when you're signing up for ASDA, the $58, that's right here. This is an excellent book. Like, it's really good. And here, I'll pass it around, you guys can look through it. Obviously, you guys get 2 wildcard points. The virtual visit from ASDA, so we only get that personalized visit if we win the competition. So I hope you guys all sign up for ASDA, but I mean, no pressure. You do get invited to national events and conferences, and this is where you kind of learn about the profession of dentistry. So that's where you kind of pick up, you know, what you're going to say in your interview. I know UCLA is huge on ASDA, right? They're huge. I mean, Ron, everybody, Jacqueline, yeah, you went to UCLA. Yeah, that's right. So a bunch of people that we went to UCLA with, they saw how huge ASDA is over there. And all the UCLA pre-dents, they're all in ASDA already. So we're not competing with them. So it just gives you something to talk about in your interview. Let's say Michelle and David are both competing for that last spot at UCLA. Okay, for example, they both have really good DAT scores. Okay, they both kill their interview, good grades, they're both good people. Michelle knows about the world of dentistry and the profession itself. She knows what's going on in current events. She knows about where it's headed, where it's going, what it's like, insurance, Obamacare, etc. She knows all that. David knows nothing. Okay? Who do you think they're going to choose? Obviously Michelle, right? I mean, sure, David, you know, he's good looking and all that.
I like USC better anyway.
But anyway, so you get what I'm saying. In an interview, this is important stuff. This is stuff that they care about, especially at UCLA. They will 100% ask you, you know, what is going on in dentistry? How have you been involved in the profession itself? these stuff, they come up in interviews. So it's really, really helpful to be involved, to know the profession that you want to go into. You know, the history behind it, the future, etc. It's really helpful. Like I said, something to talk about, and then it gives you an advantage. You saw the advantage Michelle had compared to David? You saw that! You all saw it, you were right here. So, I mean, there you go.
Watched it happen.
Yeah, do you have anything?
I guarantee you, no matter where you go for an interview in the country, if you bring up ASDA, there'll be something to talk about, definitely.
Absolutely.
So it can only benefit you.
And then you get free subscriptions. So they have like monthly newsletters that they send out to you guys. So it's not like you have to attend these national conferences just to find out what's going on in dentistry. You can read these. I actually have a few of them up there. I think it's called Mouthing Off, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So
Mouth. There's the ASDA newsletter. It's kind of like this, kind of just like more like a newsletter. It's more like a traditional newspaper. And then there's also the ASDA blog that you can check out and everything. So, yeah, ASDA has a bunch of publications that you can.
So there was an article in the newsletter that I was reading this morning. It was called Dental School Then and Now. I mean, if you talk about that in an interview, you know what you're talking about, right? So, I mean, it's really cool. I hope I'm selling you guys. All right, cool. Yeah. I think that's it. Do you have anything else to add?
No, that's all I have. If there are any more questions, I just want to, like Michael said, there's a bunch of incentives, and these prizes are real. ASDA and people in the industry, they love to give away iPads, so that's real. You know, they will totally give you an iPad. There are vendors that come to these things. Their favorite thing is to give away iPads. So, but you can't win if you don't have your name in the pot. So, join up.
All right, cool. Thank you very much. Do you guys have any more questions? I mean, this was a really chill meeting today. I mean, that's really kind of that. If you guys have any questions, I don't see anything else. Please take advantage of us. We're here for like 8 to 6.
Oh, and also I have some flyers about our Friday lecture seminar. For anybody that's interested,
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to leave. Hey, where are the extra applications?
I would say that